Hello, my name is Miguel Candiani, and this is my PBP assignment. For my Myers-Briggs personality type, I got ESFP. And then now I'm gonna start with the 30 questions. You can ask me the questions.
What is your full name and how would you prefer to be addressed?
My name is Miguel Rogelio Candiani. My first and middle names were named after both my grandparents. My brother calls me Mike because he says I look like Mike Wazowski and that I'm short like him. And my new friends here at college call me Miggy.
Can you please provide an image of you?
Okay, so I feel like this video can show who I am. Hello.
What is your major discipline of study or interest?
I am a second-year student currently studying genetics. My goal is to be admitted to the Texas A&M Medical School and eventually go on to become an anesthesiologist. Ever since I was a year old, I have lived with one kidney. Because of that, I've always been in and out of hospitals since a young age. Having my life saved and monitored by doctors, I've always had a deep sense of gratitude for their work. This made me want to become like them.
Hats you wear in this course, please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question, who are you?
So for who am I answered this in a poem-like structure, so I'm gonna read it. Who am I? A student at Texas A&M, striving for grades, doing the best I can. Who am I? Someone who loves to play basketball in my free time every day. Who am I? A collector at heart, cards and action figures, each a work of art. Who am I? A Star Wars fan, true, watching the movies every other weekend too.
Drivers for taking this course. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question, what are the main reasons that you enrolled in this course?
I enrolled in this course out of curiosity to what the class would be like and what new ideas it might introduce to me. I also enrolled in this class for a change of pace from my typical Cal and chemistry classes. I also joined this class because I believe this class might teach me something that those other classes didn't. And I also hope there would be collaborative assignments where I could interact with other students.
Expectations for the course. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question, what outcomes will make you happy that you took this course?
As an outcome of this course, I hope to sharpen my creativity and problem-solving skills in a way that helps me in my personal or professional fields of interest. I hope that when I'm done taking this class, I will approach things with a more open mind. Another outcome I hope to achieve out of this class is to improve my communication skills. There are times where I find it hard to express an idea that I have in my head to other people. I fear this may be a lack of communication skills or nerves that get to me.
Individual competencies or capabilities, please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question, what skills, abilities, and or proficiencies set you apart from other students or people in general?
Okay, I feel like I have a dragon warrior mentality, kind of like Po from Kung Fu Panda. After opening the dragon scroll, all Po sees is a reflection of himself, representing that all it comes down to is self-belief. I deeply see this in myself. I have zero doubt in my ability to succeed. I believe that self-belief alone can take you a long way, and this is very much needed when hoping to achieve challenging goals. I also believe that a strong work/school ethic, that I have a stronger work/school ethic when it comes to school. I have a 4.0 GPA that I have been working really hard to maintain. I have a strong self-discipline and focus to studying nearly every day and to stay on track. I feel that I have a stronger resilience than other people in the way that I bounce back from setbacks. I try to always understand why a setback happened and what to do properly to overcome it. For example, my freshman year, I was taking Math 150 and I ended up bombing the class and doing really bad. I ended up Q dropping it. Then second semester, I took it again and approached it differently. And by the end of the year, I ended up getting a 99 on the final. And even in the summer, I was offered a tutoring job for for it as a Hogu session facilitator.
TIBs, this I believe. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. What are some of your core values/beliefs?
I feel my core values can be represented by my favorite trio, Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, and Han Solo. Like Luke, I believe having a strong sense of compassion for others is important. I feel if people try to understand and validate each other's feelings, solutions could be more easily compromised, especially when having opposing views. In the movies, Luke was compassionate towards his father despite being enemies. A core value me and Leia share is leadership. Leia was a leader for the rebels against the Empire, and she helped bring change across the galaxy due to her bravery and leadership skills. I believe that leadership is very important to our society. Leaders can help bring people together or shine light to matters that need to be resolved. Han embodies another core value of mine, being redemption. I am a firm believer that anyone can strive for redemption even if they feel they did not succeed. I firmly believe that there can be redemption for making mistakes. It is merely up to the individual to want to turn things around for themselves. Just like Han went from being a smuggler to fighting for freedom for the entire galaxy.
Happiness. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. What things make you happy and or glad?
Going to my grandma's house in Mexico during Christmas Eve has to be one of like my favorite things in the world, especially when we get to eat tamales and like open presents. Another fun thing that I enjoy doing is going to Top Golf on Saturdays with my friends after a football game. As well as going on random adventures with my brother. Just the other day, he asked me to help him pick up a couch he bought on Facebook Marketplace from someone in Houston. Along the way, we brought snacks and listened to music we both liked. Once we got there, we had to strap the couch in the back of the truck, which was not fun at all. And it was really heavy, but we ended up doing it, and it was definitely memorable for the both of us.
Sadness. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. What things make you unhappy and or sad?
Okay, I wrote another poem for sadness, and this one goes, what makes me sad, you may ask me true. It's missing time with friends I value. When Jaguars lose, the game feels long, and laundry piles where it doesn't belong. But hardest of all, as the seasons go by, I see my parents only on holidays. Oh my. So this is basically, the poem just basically said, things that make me sad is when my laundry bin piles up, that gets to me. I don't like doing laundry. When the Jacksonville Jaguars lose the game, that also is not good. And only being able to see my parents during the holidays now compared to like living with them, that also makes me a little sad, but oh well.
Anger. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. What things make you angry and or mad?
The Star Wars sequels anger me. Original trilogy and the prequels were perfect, but the same cannot be told about the following movies. It truly angers me that they had infinite potential, yet they threw it all away on Rey. Delays on my schedule. I hate when there are big delays in my day. It makes me feel inefficient with my time, in which I could either be studying or catching up on homework. Having a dirty room when my room is a mess, it sets an unproductive and lazy tone for my day, which I later end up getting mad at myself for.
Fear. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. What things make you scared?
Not knowing how much time I have left with loved ones. I fear I may not be spending enough time with certain family members, and being 5 hours away from them does not make it better. I feel that I may be running out of time to achieve my goals. I want to go to med school, then complete residency and become an anesthesiologist, but that would take around 10 years. And because of this, I fear I might be too late by then, and some people in my life won't be able to see what's become of me. I also fear losing some of my current interests. I have a bunch of hobbies that bring happiness to my life, and that I hope that once I'm older, I don't lose those interests because I'm too busy with work or other responsibilities.
Bugs. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. What things annoy or bother you?
When people underestimate my abilities, I always get ticked off when people doubt my abilities, especially when it comes to baking. I feel that may look like a goofy person, but they usually don't expect me to be like good at baking, but I am. Texas weather for me takes the number one spot for most annoying things. I was born to live in the cold. Yeah, I live here in Texas, and we only get about like 3 to 4 months of winter. I hate walking to class and being drenched in sweat. I am unfit for this environment and should instead be living somewhere else. Even my wardrobe agrees with me. 2/3 of my clothes are probably meant for the winter, so I can't even like wear them. Lastly, I'd say another thing that bugs me is the rising price of Funyuns. Over the past few years, they were my favorite bags of chips, and I used to be able to buy them for like $2 to $3. But now I'd be costing upwards to like 4 to 5 for like the big bag. And not only did I start now recently paying for my own food, but to raise the prices as well is just outrageous hate crime.
Rants. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. What things do you dislike and or hate?
I hate my chemistry labs. I just hate my chemistry labs. I usually don't hate any of my classes, but chem lab is different from the rest. I always procrastinate doing post labs and pre-lab notebooks, but for a good reason. They're tiring and a pain to do. The fact that I have the lab on an 8 a.m. Friday does not help at all. Another thing that I don't really like are scalpelers that take my Pokemon cards. I can't even buy Pokemon cards no more because they just be buying all of them, and because of them, the prices end up going up. Another thing that I don't really like is my car gas meter doesn't work. I never know how much gas I have. It's self-explanatory. I feel like I'm always playing a devil's game where I don't know if my car is on empty, so I usually just be adding $20 for good luck.
Raves. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. What things do you like and or love?
I love everything about October. I love all the fun decorations that the house is set up. I love watching Halloween movies, eating pumpkin chip cookies, wearing costumes and for Halloween, and going out with my friends. The vibe that October bring is just outmatched. I also love vacations in beachy areas. I recently went to Cancun with my girlfriend and had an absolute blast. I loved eating the foods they serve in those areas, the shrimp, the fish, the oysters. They're just also good. I also enjoyed being in the beach itself. It is a very different type of scenery than what I'm used to, and another thing that I love are nerdy shops. Nerdy shops that are filled with posters, action figures, and comic books. I feel that I could easily spend all day in stores like that in a funny way motivates me to work hard towards my goals so that in the future I can buy as much as I like with my doctor money. What were you saying?
Light bulbs. It's cut off. I can't read it.
The light bulbs. Okay, that is question 16.
I need 16 and 17.
Okay, you need 16 and 17?
Yeah.
Okay, I can just ask those to myself. It said, please provide 3 to 5 answers to what inspires you. Fictional characters like Naruto inspire me. Watching shows where the main character works harder than everyone else to reach their goals makes me want to do the same. It really helps because they motivate me to try hard in my fields of work and interests. The thought of one day being a father and a provider also inspires me to work really hard so that in the future I can be someone that my wife and kids can depend on. I also wish to give back to my parents and siblings, and in order to do that I need to be successful in my future goals. That thought alone gives me infinite energy and motivation to get my work done. The doctors that helped me when I was a child inspire me as well. I constantly think of how amazing it would be to be in their shoes and be able to help other people. It inspires me by reminding me for the reason I work so hard for academically. And then please provide 3 to 5 answers to the question, what are your biggest accomplishments to date? My biggest accomplishment is something I mentioned earlier, is having a 4.0 my freshman year. It is something I'm extremely proud of for myself and plan to continue to maintain. Another big accomplishment is learning to play the saxophone really well. I began to play this instrument ever since I was 13, and I became better at it over the years. I always felt like it was a big accomplishment of mine because it was something I genuinely dedicated a lot of time to and saw myself becoming better at since a young age. But my absolute biggest accomplishment to date would have to be the people I chose to surround myself with. I'm really happy with the friends that I have made. I feel grateful to have surrounded myself with a bunch of people that have positive influence in my life and that support and I can count on to just be happy to be around.
Big, hairy, audacious goals. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question, what are your biggest goals in life?
I currently have a few goals marking different moments in my life. One of them is getting accepted to Texas A&M medical school. I feel like it's constantly in my mind. Currently, I'm doing everything I can do to become a competitive applicant for when the day comes to apply. Before this goal seemed to be near impossible and had huge doubts in my abilities to do so, but ever since last year, I adopted a new mindset, and not only did I become more confident, but also got results that exceeded my expectations. After that, my goal is to complete med school and complete residency that follows and become a board-approved doctor. At this point in my life, I would be around like 29 to 30 years old and have a big source of income and hopefully a wife with children. Now that I have a bigger income, my next goal would be to buy a few properties that I could rent out as Airbnbs and get a new source of passive income. And once I'm able to do that, I hope that I can travel around the world and just spend my 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s just exploring new places.
Enhancing your life. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. If you had the power and means to do so, what enhancements would you do to your life today to make better?
The first thing I would do is get a better car. Like I said previously, my current car doesn't even have a working gas meter, and besides that, it has other issues. I'm still grateful to have a car, but a new one would just be way better. And if I were to get a car, I'd probably want a Kia Stinger. I've had my eye on it for a while. Another thing I would give myself is a perfectly successful kidney transplant. Since I only have one kidney, giving myself another one would not only give me better health, but also allow me to do other things in life. Because of my medical condition, I was never able to play contact sports. My dietary elements are restricted, and I always have to worry that I need to constantly take care of my nutrition and well-being. Lastly, if I were to give myself anything, I give myself photographic memory. I feel that through this enhancement, it would make school a lot easier, and I would spend less time cramming like 4 different subjects in my head just to end up forgetting everything that I studied.
Genie wishes. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. If you had a chance to make wishes come true, what would you wish for?
If I was a genie and was able to make any wish come true, I would wish to be able to travel back and forth between another dimension where I would be an actual Jedi that was force sensitive, and I give myself a purple lightsaber. On top of that, I give myself an infinite number of lives and respawns because, I mean, it's Star Wars. You'll probably die young there. Another thing I would wish for is I would wish to have an NFL body build and play as a wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I would want a $40 million contract per year. And I would also want to have Spider-Man's abilities and be like a crime-stopping badass during the night.
Magic wands. Please provide 3 to 5 different answers to the question. If you had the power and means to do so, what things would you change?
I would change the fact that humans and animals can't communicate. I would create a device that would make animals understand me and me understand them. With this device, I could hopefully make my dog understand that it's wrong to pee in the house. I would also make it legal to have a zoo in my backyard with all kinds of creatures. I'd have koalas, tigers, lions, kangaroos, and all of the above. Lastly, if I had the power to do so, I'd hire the wages of teachers, especially pre-K and kindergarten teachers, because I believe that their job is super important and not recognized enough.
Fail-safe mechanisms. What would you do if you knew you could not fail?
I'd become a Formula One racer. If there was no way I could fail, I'd become the best F1 racer in the whole world. Since I can't fail, not only wouldn't crash, I'd just be number one. Another thing I would do is I'd be an expert gambler. I would get all my life savings and put it all on black. Then after winning, I'd double it to just win again and repeat until I am the richest person in the world. Lastly, if I knew I could not fail, I'd create a clothing brand. I would call my brand MGY and sell a lot of cool jackets and shirts and jeans.
No consequences. What would you do if you knew that your actions, whatever they might be, would not have any consequences at all? Legal, moral, ethical, religious, economical, political, social, environmental.
If I would be able to do whatever I want with zero consequences, I'd steal the most expensive McLaren, take it home with me, then I would drive it down highways way over the speed limit, and I'd probably customize it all black with an illegal tint. And then in my new car, I would hunt down for all my favorite Pokemon cards and just steal them and just create a binder. Then I would force Disney to give me ownership of Star Wars so I can make better sequels and spin-offs.
Weird claim to fame. What are the most unusual things that you have ever done?
I once added Fruit Loops to a bowl of noodles. Till this day, it's the weirdest food combination I've tried. My senior year of high school, I got pepper sprayed for $100. That day, my friends pepper sprayed me, and it was not fun. The burn in my eyes lasted all night, and it reactivated when I showered. Wouldn't do that again. There's also another weird thing that I do is I sometimes study in weird positions. There have been moments where my girlfriend points out how I sometimes study like sitting down weird. Like there's times where like I put my feet on like the top of the backboard of the bed and I'm just kind of like diagonally like studying when I'm like missing a sock, and it's just kind of weird.
Memorable place. What are the most memorable places that you have ever visited?
One of the most memorable places I have visited was Disney World. I went with my parents and siblings and had one of the best times of my life. I remember getting in a bunch of rides and buying those like big, goofy Mickey Mouse white gloves. I remember going to the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and my brain imploded of how awesome that was. Another memorable place I visited was Puerto Vallarta. There I spent a lot of time with my older brother. Me and him went snorkeling in the ocean, and we actually saw a barracuda swim past us. And we were kind of terrified for that one moment, but besides that, it was kind of fun. We went jet skiing. There was this one specific moment where we were on a little like small boat, and my brother like jokingly like pushed me off the boat, but when I fell into the ocean, I was wearing his glasses on top of my head. So when I fell, like I just like my first reaction was like to get back up, and he ended up losing his glasses because they sunk to the bottom of the ocean. So it kind of backfired on him. And another memorable place that I went to was when I went to Louisiana, and I went specifically New Orleans. There I remember eating crawfish and alligator for the first time. It was a real memorable because ever since I went there, crawfish has been one of my favorite foods to eat. And during that trip, me and my family took a ferry boat along the Mississippi River to a historical museum. And Louisiana forever holds first place for the most memorable places I've ever been because it has the best foods.
Passion. What are your passions?
I have a passion for watching movies. I myself have created a list of movies that are best movies ever made of all time. For me, I found that watching movies makes me really happy and often cheers me up. Some of my favorite movies are like Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, The Lion King, Monsters Inc. University, Grown Ups 2, Big Hero 6. All these movies are just amazing. I'm also really passionate about music. I can confidently say that I listen to music for about like 90% of my day. I even play some music. I own an electric Ibanez guitar that I love to play. I also like playing Guitar Hero on my Xbox, where I perform 10 out of 10 songs to my fictional audience. Lastly, I'm really passionate about baking sweet treats. I love baking brownies and cookies. I wish I had more time to learn new recipes throughout the day. To me, baking is fun, plus I get snacks in the process.
Dream. What are your dreams?
My dream is to be a dependable man, which I can carry a load for other people. I hope to become someone that my siblings and parents are proud of. Someone that has become financially stable and secure enough to be able to travel around the world. Another dream of mine, way in the future from now, would be to be ready, able, and prepared to adopt a child. Has always been a dream of mine to go through the adoption process and raise somebody like that. After that, adoption is another way I can do a good deed, and above all, it's something I truly want to do. Finally, another dream of mine is making a lasting contribution in medicine, whether it's a new type of device that revolutionizes surgery, or it's some sort of antibiotic that cures a disease.
Bucket list. What things do you want to do before you die?
Before I die, I want to. Before I die, I want to know that I have provided for my future children and leave behind a huge amount of wealth. I want to make sure that they have a good upbringing, and I want to see them become dependable men. I want to have visited all my dream vacations outside the country, like Germany, Rome, Paris, etc. Before I die, I would like to have either created or bought some sort of like lightsaber that's like IRL, or at least I know they have the proto sabers, but I don't know, just having like a saber fight with my friends would be pretty cool. And lastly, I would like to own an apartment complex in which I can generate crazy amount of income and do all sort of things that have to do with like travel, luxury cars, and big houses.
Soundtrack. If you made a movie of your life, what songs would you include in the soundtrack of the movie?
This is my favorite question yet. If I had made a movie about me and had to pick soundtrack, I start off with God's Plan by Drake. I am always saying that the only reason I'm here is thanks to God, and that I'm where I want to be because of him, and because that's the path he chose for me. Then after that, I'd play, I don't know how to, the song doesn't really have a name. It's kind of like a greater than symbol plus a 3, and it's by Bad Bunny. This song is about how he envisioned himself making his dreams come true and how he's going to continue to succeed. Each time I hear this song, I get eager to accomplish my own dreams and goals, and really helps me stay on track. Another song that I would play would be Adventure of a Lifetime by Coldplay. This song makes me feel alive and excited to go out and do something with my friends or family.
Legacy. What would the epitaph on your tombstone say that encapsulates what you want to be remembered for?
I'd want the epitaph on my gravestone to say hard work. I believe that through hard work and relentless tries, you can accomplish everything you need to be successful in life. I believe that if you work hard and never give up, eventually you will reach your goals. At least that's how it's been in my life. I'm determined to work hard and make my dreams come true. I feel it's just a matter of time, and all I have to do is stay determined and keep working hard. I want to be remembered as someone who never wavered and gave it everything they had, and in return got all of their dreams to come true, and it sounds like a fair trade to me. Okay, and then for task 3, scrolling to it right now. It asked me to select 10 of 15 questions, and the 15 questions that I selected was 4, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 25, 26, and 29. I feel these questions truly show who I am. It shows the abilities that I have and what I'm confident in, but it also shows my fears. It shows what bugs me and some of the small things that I don't particularly like, but yet it also shows some of the things that I love and get inspired by. Most importantly, they show my accomplishments, and as well as my future dreams and goals that I have full intention of reaching. And then for task 4, I was asked to, based on what I chose from task 3, to pick where I would like to stand out in from the options. And I chose more of a personal option. I wish to stand out when I apply to medical school. And when I mean to stand out, I don't mean just be your usual competitive applicant. I genuinely mean like standing out. I want to be either one of the most competitive applicants or the most competitive applicant. I don't want to hope for a med school to choose me. I want to be the one that picks what med school they're going to. I want to have the luxury of, like I said, picking what med school I want to be in. And in order for that to happen, I need to go above and beyond and outcompete everyone else. Okay, and lastly, it's to answer task 5, and it says, what would you do to stand out? And to answer this, my answer is to stand out from everybody else. I would simply just be myself. Nobody else in the world is like me. No one else has my story. Therefore, by being myself, I don't have to compete to shine. And because my own mindset has taken me this far, I'm sure it will take me the whole way. And I kind of wanted to explain it like this. Like, this would be... Here, let me point the thing down. Actually, let me flip it. This would be everybody else. This is everybody. And I feel that I would be this guy right here. I'm already, just by being myself, I'm so uniquely different from everybody else that's in the group. Okay. And then how would you do it? I feel in order to do it, I just need to keep building on the person I already am. I need to keep my current good habits and be flexible and open-minded to adopt new ideas, allowing myself to grow. I need to keep working hard every day, identify my weaknesses and flip them into opportunities for me to grow, and until I turn those weaknesses to strengths. I'm not aiming to just be well-rounded and good at everything. I'm determined to work hard until I become extraordinary at everything. And I hope I force the schools to recognize that. And to show that is, I feel that here is going to be like everybody else. And I'm just going to like keep on building stuff for myself till it takes me higher than, till it takes me higher than like everybody else. And then lastly, to answer last one is what would you need to be able to do it? And all I need to be able to do it is good health, focus, and the will to never give up. With these 3 things, I am confident I can stand out and shine brighter than anyone else. Health keeps me strong, focus keeps me sharp, and determination keeps me moving forward no matter what. And to demonstrate this, it would just be me. My mind, I have a good mindset, and I'm determined, and I'm sure I got it.